is also the earliest I've ever done a podcast.
Yeah.
Usually I do these at like 8 or 9 o'clock, but 10 a.m. is a different vibe.
Heck yeah.
And there's no beer this time.
Well,
You failed me.
It is a little early, but you know what they say, if you're going to drink all day, you got to start in the morning, right?
That's right. So your connection with beer is Southern Tier. What do you do there?
I'm a production supervisor currently. Been there for 15-ish years, going on 16. Started kind of at the bottom and worked my way to the top.
Nice. That's cool. How did you get to that? Like, what brought you there to start?
Well, I mean, usually with beer, friends are involved. So I had a friend who was rooming with me at the time who was working at Southern Tier, and of course, 20 years ago, what's Southern Tier? But
That's massive,
right? And I never was a real big beer drinker. But one night he brought home like some root beer that they were working on, and that kind of like got my foot in the door,
Yep.
thinking about Southern Tier, and then eventually, down the road, I needed a job and applied, and like I said, I had a couple friends working there, so I was a natural fit, I guess.
Yeah. And you just enjoyed it since.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a good work environment.
It
Good
is.
vibes. Seems
It
like
is.
it would be.
Yeah, listen to music all night, make little containers of happiness for all all the drinkers out there.
Yep.
It's pretty cool.
So where did Southern Tier like originate? Was it in Jamestown area? Is it in the
Yeah, so we've always been in the Lakewood area, right in the Stoneman Business Center out there. Yeah, we started in a smaller place, like across the road from where we are now.
Yep.
And then it just got bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Until we had to build our own state-of-the-art facility. It's just been expanding ever since.
Is that considered a craft beer?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's by far the best craft beer, like at least locally, that I've ever had.
Well, thank you.
I mean, like we got 4 Mile and that's decent. You got EBC is decent, but like Southern Tier is just like that, like one tick above everyone else, at least in this like region. So,
well, cool. I'm glad you enjoy it.
There's so many of them.
Yeah. We make 30 some different
Yeah.
kinds of beers. All different styles. We've got dessert beers.
That blueberry though.
Yeah.
That's
no, blueberries at EBC.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. We actually
the bad plug.
Actually, we used to make the EBC blueberry years ago.
Yeah.
Peter and Finn, the owner of EBC and Southern Tier, were brother-in-laws.
Oh, were they?
Yep. So cool. We had a pretty close relationship there for a while in the beginning.
Yeah. That's awesome. I love beer. Anytime you want to send me beer, I'll drink it.
Hey, not a problem. I've always got beer to get rid of. So
I've been on the Blue Moon kick for the last like 2 years. My buddy turned me on to the garage beer before the Kelsey brothers. So we race RC cars, and he does immaculate lawn work at his house, and he posted this drone. He does drone footage of his lawn. And he posted on I think his Instagram a drone aerial of his house and his lawn, and looked all crazy.
Yeah,
and they like messaged him, I guess. I don't know why lawns appealed to them, but they messaged him and they got to chatting, and they ended up sponsoring his RC program.
Nice.
So he was telling me about it. So it actually wasn't available in New York until recently, and so I found it in Bradford. And I brought it home, tried it. It's nothing like crazy. It's just a light beer.
Yeah,
but like, it's a cool branding,
right?
So like, that goes somewhere, I guess. So
yeah, I'm actually feeling a little disappointed that I forgot your beer, because it's a newer beer, session IPA that we're working.
Oh yeah,
on. Yeah. You would have been the first one to get to try it.
I put that on my LinkedIn.
So I don't know. Maybe I can make a special trip before I fly out to Oregon next week.
Yeah. What are you doing in Oregon?
I'm going out there for a big UAS race. It's a memorial race, the 15th running of the Buddha Kinzer Memorial. It's a really big UAS race out on the West Coast. So
Yeah.
I've never been. It's usually there's a lot of hype that surrounds it, and I'm really looking forward to being able to go check it out.
Are you racing in it?
No,
No.
I'm just gonna be doing some pit reporting,
Okay.
talking to the drivers, just kind of sitting back and seeing how the event runs. It's been running for 15 years, like I said, so these guys are doing something right, and I'm hoping maybe we can tap into that and
Right. Learn some stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. So let's go into what is UAS?
It's in the UAS is called UAS is short for Unlimited All Stars.
Mhm.
It's a group of high horsepower go karts that race on dirt ovals all across the country.
And those are the wedge carts.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, they don't necessarily have to have a wedge.
Yeah, I was looking at that. Yeah.
You can run it with a traditional flat cart body,
Mhm.
but the wedge body just looks a lot cooler.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a little bit of aero,
Yep.
to factor
Side
into
force,
it too.
yeah.
So
But they're heavier, I would imagine, right? That big panel on the sides.
not really.
No.
We use a lot of fiberglass and
Mhm.
carbon fibers getting bigger and bigger. So
Yeah.
um, they they can run anywhere from 350 to 450, 500 pounds,
Yeah.
just depending on how big the driver is and
Yeah.
how big the engine package is that you decide to run.
Yeah, because I was watching some of the videos last night, and yeah, it seemed like there was a. Is there a rule tolerance in body style? I saw some people had like a wing brace on the front nose.
Yeah,
Some
so
people had just the left. Some people had both
yeah,
sides were wedge.
there's a lot of ingenuity that's
Mm.
involved in UAS racing, and pretty much as long as you fit within the guidelines laid out in the rule book, you can do pretty much anything.
Okay.
There's a height restriction. There's a maximum height that the front wing can be, um, and outside of that, I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty much all fair game.
Yeah, it's kind of cool though. So you got like it's not just like a spec thing. So you got a little room for creativity and
Right.
engineering
Yeah.
involved. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you said dirt oval. Do they run pavement? I know
So
pavement's kind of dead in the karting world, it seems, but
yeah, it's not really as big as dirt is right now, but there are still quite a few diehard
mm,
asphalt kart racers out there. And just last year we ran a race at Chapel Hill or
okay, yeah,
Chapel Hill.
yeah,
Sorry,
yeah. Be
I gotta
careful.
say it right. Um, and it was actually pretty big hit there.
Yeah,
We raced with the TQ midget
mm,
and another a champ class.
yeah. What time of the year was that one?
Late July.
Okay,
They had a second race in August
yeah, okay,
that
yeah,
I couldn't make because there was another race scheduled that time.
yeah.
So
I missed the July one, but I went to the one in August. My buddy Ronnie owns the
yeah,
track.
yeah.
Yeah,
So Ronnie's an old UAS racer,
yep.
and we've always talked over the years about building a dirt track out there,
I know.
and he's always wanted to get them fast carts out there.
Yep.
So I've stayed in touch with Ronnie over the years,
Mm-hmm.
and last year we were able to make it happen, and
Yep.
the it wasn't the day we ran the race was a Sunday, so we had planned on racing Saturday, and it had rained out,
Yep.
so we only had 5 or 6 guys. It was a small thing,
Mm-hmm.
but we were still able to get our feet wet and,
Yep.
and test it out, and we all liked it.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be going back to Chapel Hill this August 9th, I believe,
Okay.
is the date.
Yep.
And
Yeah, I was actually talking to Ronnie last week about that.
yeah,
I told him I wanted to try to get a little more involved and try to promote it a little more because he has those TQs up there and they're
yeah,
super cool.
yeah,
And like, I think you just got to get the word out more or maybe differently to get
right,
more. I think anyone who goes there and watches is going to think it's super cool, but
right.
like they may not know what it is. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? It's not like something the common person knows but doesn't know what a TQ midget is. So it's not like a go kart or a late model or NASCAR.
Right, but
Like what's
once
a
you see
TQ
it,
midget? It sounds like a wrestling event.
right, a fan of racing will recognize what
Yep.
it is immediately and
Yep.
be drawn into it.
Yep.
Same thing with the go karts. Um, people there's a stigma kind of about go karts.
Mm-hmm.
They're people think of them as toys,
Mm-hmm.
and really that's not the case once you get into racing on these, these bigger dirt ovals and some of that asphalt.
Yeah.
Power to weight ratios,
Oh yeah.
pretty similar to the big dirt cars.
I've been telling Ronnie for years, and I know it's simple for me to say, but yeah, he should just fill that track with clay.
Mm-hmm.
Just be done with the pavement.
I
I
don't
think
think
it'd be packed.
I don't think he'd let it go, but a dirt track right there would be
Huge.
huge.
Yeah. Because I mean, Layfield's down Bolivar area, I think. That place is packed every week.
Yeah.
Like, and there's not that there's no competition. There's tracks around that, but like that
Right.
track is just packed every single week.
So Layfields is a pretty sweet place too.
Yeah.
And we race there. We usually run the Bill Layfield Memorial. Very unique place.
Yeah.
It's like a little Bristol, I actually think, and John claims it to be the fastest 10th mile in the country. We've had a UAS race years ago there, and a fella named Robbie Sarchek came up out of Ohio, and there was probably 15 to 20 local guys racing there too, and he put a hurting on him and set a blistering fast record, and ever since that guy's been there, the locals have been just beating the hell out of that track record.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping we can get some guys, some out of towners there, and try to do it again, do a bigger race there.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I love that track. Like I've never personally raced there, but like the racing's awesome there. It's just like cool. Like when you walk up to it and you see like the banking, like bank tracks, just like that aren't really like a thing anymore.
Right.
Like they're all flat or really lowly banked. It's like to see like that bowl is like pretty neat.
Right. It puts a lot of the racing back into the driver's hand, and the setup guy. You got to have a good setup to get around a track like that.
Yep. Yeah, and John's like an incredibly hard worker.
Yeah, nobody works on a track harder than John.
Yeah.
He'll
never rain out a race either.
He hops in that truck, man, and he'll beat that truck around that track until it can rain, and an hour later John will beat that truck around the track, and it'll be ready to race.
Yeah. Yeah, he puts in the work. Speaking of beating around the track, the Chili Bowl was last night.
Yeah.
Kyle Larson dominated it. I think he led every single lap.
Yep.
As expected.
Yep, not surprised.
I was surprised though when they did the driver intros. There was some booze in there.
Oh yeah. Haters are gonna hate, man.
I figured I never would have thought Kyle Larson would get booed. Thought everybody loved Kyle Larson.
Well, there comes a time in any form of racing where you see the same guy winning over and over.
Yeah.
Some people's feelings end up getting hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, when he got out and he won, he did like a little like shrug. Just to like fan the flames a little bit, I think.
How was the Kyle Busch reaction? I think the fans to Kyle Busch. Usually the fans are pretty hard on Kyle.
I feel like Kyle Busch is he's doing that thing that like where you get hated and then like you suck so long and you
he's
get old.
Transitioning into wrestling hero.
Yeah.
He's no longer the heel.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the case. I didn't actually see any of Kyle's Chili Bowl stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was in like the F main or something. So that's probably why I didn't see any of it. But it was his first time really racing a competitive midget race.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really expect him to be in the mix, even though he's Kyle Busch. Like, still, that's a big curve to learn in a couple months. So,
and there's the level of competition there and the amount of cars. It's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, because I think like I caught the B sort, the B race for the bump up. And there were some good guys in there. There was, I think Corey Day was in there. Tyler Courtney was in the B. So yeah, I mean, if those guys are in the B, then it's gonna be a tall order to make the main. So, but I also learned last night, before we get into some topics of some events that you got going on, TikTok got banned last night.
Oh yeah, I don't really have the feels about it as much as everybody else. I don't personally use the platform, but I can see the power of a platform like that, and I think that if it's just utilized appropriately, is there what the government wants to put in place or whatever. I could see it being continuing to be a beneficial tool
Yeah.
for social media outlets.
I don't know or care, I guess, the politics end of it, but like for us, it's a huge platform
Yeah.
for reaching so like for our carts and our stock car wraps and stuff. Like most of the stuff we do isn't even like locally. Like we do maybe a dozen, 2 dozen carts locally, and like maybe a dozen like stock cars locally, but the rest of the big wraps we do are out of state, and all that comes from like Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
Like we'll post like some cool wraps, like the process of doing them or whatever, and we'll get the messages or the online orders and they ship them out. So hopefully it comes back.
Right.
As someone who likes making money, I hope it comes back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I hate all of those platforms, honestly. Like if I didn't have a business, I would not have social media.
Well, that's kind of where I am. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just now starting to realize the usefulness, or to see them as tools. You know, instead of mindless scrolling.
Like here's my hamburger.
Right. So, I definitely, like I said, I could see the benefit in a platform like TikTok. I've obviously got Facebook and I do a little Instagram, but I'm slowly getting my feet.
Yeah, like I talk about it with my wife a lot, like weird things like this because we're in business together. She's not really into like the marketing, and like she's more of an operational person than the strategy part.
Yeah.
But I like to just bounce ideas off her. But like there's businesses and events that like have zero online presence. And I get like word of mouth's cool. Like you can survive doing that. But why would you not do it? Like if you're doing well without it, imagine what you could do with it.
Right.
You know? I mean it's toxic for sure, but you just don't read the comments.
Just don't read the comments.
Unless they're good. Engage with the good ones. Sometimes I like to so we started doing these Facebook ads for our screen printer race shirts. And you can definitely tell the demographic of Facebook folks are much older. So it has like the images and like the click to get a quote button.
Yeah.
But if you click on the photo, how Facebook has it set up, it takes you to the instant message and it has like an automated like, how can we help you with your race shirts or whatever. And I was going to do an email on our email list, like block out the names and just do like a funny email with it. But it's just all these people that are like, stop messaging me, you Nazi. Just
all the comments from people that are accidentally clicking on the. I think I'm probably in there, because I've got fat.
Oh yeah, you have the fat finger
scrolling by, and I accidentally hit the message button, and next thing I know, I'm having a drunk conversation with Carpy.
Yeah, they're like, stop messaging me, you're spamming my account. Like, that's an automated message. Yeah. And then the next one's like, sorry, we're close. And they're like, I said stop. And then it keeps giving them the we're closed.
Piling on and piling on.
It's funny. You can tell they're old.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's how like those celebrity, like those fake celebrity accounts that like message someone and they're like, my wife took all my money in the divorce. I need to send me $10,000.
Right.
Yeah, I just can't imagine the mindset you're in when you believe that. Like, oh man, Hillary Duff's sending me wants me to send her 20 grand and she wants to be with me.
Yeah, we're besties now.
Just there's no logic to that. Like, why would you even think that happened? Of all people, she could message some hick it only in.
You never know.
Yeah, true love's true love, I guess.
Dollar in a dream.
So, American Muscle Car.
Yes, sir.
What is?
So American Muscle Cart it's a magazine.
A physical magazine?
Physical magazine. I brought a couple.
Oh, nice.
Couple to kind of you check out so you can see. But it's the official publication of the Unlimited All Stars.
Nice.
We put stats and race write-ups and basically any of our sponsors, series sponsors. This is how we promote and how we get the word out there. It's one of the only karting publications still in print today.
Yeah. So how do these get distributed? Is there like a subscription or?
So it's always been by subscription.
Mm-hmm.
A few years ago, we voted to include a subscription with your membership. So when you would become a licensed UAS member, you would get a magazine subscription.
Yeah.
As our executive director is getting set to retire, he had actually wanted to retire the magazine and just keep it as a yearbook, but we're going to take on the publishing and keep it going.
Yeah.
So the idea right now is to offer it for free to all of our members.
Yep.
It'll be a free digital print that we'll send the PDF to every member periodically. I think we're thinking about doing four issues a year. Yeah. And then the yearbook at the end of the year, so it'd be 5 total. And then, of course, for those that still would like a hard copy, we're going to be looking at working with a print company such as yourself, and to be able to make those available to people still. Yeah, that's cool. There's a lot of people still like to have a physical magazine to pick up, and
everybody likes to see their name in print.
Right.
Yeah, that's neat.
So I'd like to. Whereas now it's the first couple pages are color, got a color ad, color cover. Going digital will allow us to colorize the entire issue. Just make it better so that you can see. Makes the sponsors and the marketing partners more visible, especially on the carts, the pictures of the carts, and that's the big push behind keeping the magazine alive is the self-promotion for the racers. There really isn't a lot of promotion out there for any of your sponsors on your cart outside of the couple minutes that you get to spend on the track, or people walking by in the pits. And usually all that stuff happens in a rush, and a lot of times the sponsors get overlooked. Right.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I mean, like, if you're selling a sponsorship and you bring in yourself on the cover of a magazine, that's
pretty cool. It has a bit of a wow factor.
Yeah. Definitely gives it a professional, like, prestigious feel to it. Right. And shows more value. Like you said, like, I'm always not against, but I'm not like in love with like my logo on the car. Like, I watch racing, and like the difference is from like a local racing or watching it on like Formula One or NASCAR is on TV. You have the camera that's like on the car, so it's not buzzing by at 50 miles an hour or 100 miles an hour. So like you can see it, you can read it for minutes versus tenth of a second.
Yeah. As we move into the digital age with American Muscle Cart, we're going to have the American Muscle Cart TV side of things where we can do more, like you say, have things on video so that people can see it. It's more tangible. You can connect more with the driver. You can see more of the stuff that you don't get to see as it's whizzing by.
Right. Yeah, that's cool. And the thing with the digital magazine too is, like, if you have sponsors, you can also forward that or send it to them, download it, resend it to them. And I would imagine, I don't know a lot about like digital magazine type stuff, but I would imagine like the Tucson Kart Speedway here, like this, there could be a clickable thing in the PDF too. So as we're like, I would read this and then I would go to the next page. I have a higher chance that I'm going to click on the logo and go look at what it is. Yeah. So that's cool too.
Same with the product sponsors too. It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge for them, because like you said, you get to read the article and then instead of closing the book and setting it down and forget about it, you can touch the link and you can go to it and you can see it. You can see how much it costs. Right. You can see reviews on what people think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's neat. Especially because, like, you're reading it on the toilet and you don't want to have your phone in the bathroom because of poop particles. So like you're reading it, and you're not going to remember to go Google it when you get out. You know,
Right.
You're going to go talk about how good that poop was. You're not
Right.
going to get right to.
You're gonna wash your hands and
Wash your hands
pretty quick. Well, I don't know about you, but
that's how I beat COVID.
yeah,
I just never washed my hands.
immunity. Yeah,
That's true though. I really believe that. Don't wash your hands, kids.
Derek beat COVID. Don't wash your hands.
So in a couple weeks we got the UAS Winter Conference benefiting Mark. Was it
Bergfeld.
Bergfeld? Yep.
Yep.
That's going to be hosted at EBC in Pittsburgh.
Southern Tier Brewing Company.
Yeah, get the two mixed up. God damn.
No, it's cool. I get it. You're local. You're a fanboy. They're EBC's a hop, skip, and a jump from here. So
yeah, it's really close to my house because I live in Allegheny, so it's just right past Chapel Hill there, and I'm there.
Chapel Hill.
But yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it's a conference, so you're gonna have, I'm assuming, a lot of vendors. There'll be food, drink, beer, obviously.
So this is the inaugural winter conference, and I just put a name to it.
Mm-hmm.
In years past, it was more of just like a reunion.
Mm-hmm.
Racers get together and we talk about the old days, and we talk about what's coming up next. The races and have a couple cocktails and cut a rug and let your hair loose. And this year, I decided to try to open that up to all the racers across all the racers in all the UAS regions across the country. So we've got people coming from the West Coast, we've got people coming from the Florida area, people coming from the extreme Northeast, Connecticut, New Hampshire area. A lot of people from the Midwest, the Ohio regions. We're all going to get together and talk about some things that are going to be developing here in the UAS coming up. Talk about this is a rules change year, so we're going to use it as a platform to discuss things that people might want to either change in the rules or add to the rules, or maybe there isn't even a rule for it.
Right.
So it'll give us a platform to get everybody's voice in a more central area so that everybody can be heard.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you have someone doing content at the event?
We have a racer, Ben Taft.
Okay.
He's got a YouTube page. I believe he'll be there doing a little video. We're going to try to set up some cameras to record for ourselves to stream on either our Facebook page or our YouTube page. If we can, I got to get the subscribers up on the YouTube page so that we can go live. But
what's the name of the YouTube page?
American Muscle Kart TV.
Okay. I'll put a link here.
Awesome. So yeah, as that gains popularity, we're gonna move content like that over to American Muscle Kart TV. We'll do our own podcast with interviews and streaming from events that we're doing or races that we're doing. Just give it a more centralized area to find all this information.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And the benefits are going to Mark.
Yep.
Is that the fee to get in? Is that, or is there going to be like raffles or?
So
I know we're talking about doing some T-shirts to raise some money as well.
So the fees to get in are strictly just to cover the beverages and the use of the facility. We've got some donated some items that have been donated that we're going to raffle off.
Okay. Yep. I saw there was Burris.
Yeah, we've got a set of tires from Burris Racing. We've got a brand new Zamp carbon fiber helmet from Product 41. We've got a wrap from another vendor.
Yeah.
Just all kinds of things. Randy Treadway here at with Fusion Composites has donated. Adrenaline Rush Karting. Chautauqua Machine Specialties has
Yeah.
donated a bunch of product. We've got a lot of really good partners that came on for this event, and we're really looking forward to getting everybody together and
Yeah.
seeing what we can do.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's gonna be a good event. So you have to RSVP. I saw that. We haven't RSVP'd, but we plan on coming, but
Okay.
it's a travel.
Right.
So I guess it all depends for us on weather and those kinds of situations, but
Right.
we plan on being there.
Okay.
Some facet.
We would love to have you.
And if we don't, we'll be there virtually.
Gotcha.
Be trolling your live feed.
Right. Well, make sure you drop likes, comments, shares,
Yeah.
and we'll be happy to have you there.
Some of our customers I saw run the UAS series.
Yeah, we've got the Gibersons
Yep.
are real big followers in
They're
the
real
UAS.
local for us.
Yeah, Troy, Skip, and Rick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think somebody asked me by email. They were like, "How the hell did you hear about Carpys?
Yeah.
You know, and why?
Yeah.
You know?" But then I started rattling off. You know,
Yep.
like there's Rick, Troy, Skip, and then there's what's that fellow with the underdog?
Yeah, I can't remember his name. I was trying to think of that.
But that's cool,
Yeah,
and
it's a cool route.
And Josh Outman's carts
Yep.
are always spectacular looking.
Yep.
But I think for me the biggest draw to Carpys is over the years has been the Rex cars.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah, so you cannot go anywhere without noticing that car.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I think the favorite one of mine was the skeleton version of the T-Rex.
Oh yeah, I think that was the last version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my kids, they love them all.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love a big Tyrannosaurus Rex
Right.
right down the side of a race car?
Those guys are wild.
Yeah.
Steve. Him and I have a. Well, this isn't good again for the Southern Tier plugs, but him and I have our Facebook Messenger conversation is just he loves Blue Moon also, and he'll send me a picture of a blue moon at dinner, and then I'll send him one. It's literally like 3 years of just photos of beers. There's not much conversation in between there,
Right?
But yeah, they're good guys. Yeah, we've been doing their wraps for I want to say like 3 or 4 years now. We did shirts for them. I think how the relationship started. We did T-shirts for them.
Yeah.
And they were really skeptical of us. They had never worked with us, and we are kind of not necessarily new into the racing stuff, but new into that like modified type market. And so they came here and they're like, "Are you sure you can print this? Do you know what a modified is?" Like,
Right.
And I get it, but so we knocked it out of the park, and then we ended up doing their wraps the next year and the next year, and so it's been about 3 years now we've been doing them. I haven't heard from him yet this year. I know he had like an engine problem at the end of last year, so he had to cut the season short. So yeah. I think he's racing this year, but I haven't heard from him yet this year. I know, do you know Will Nelly?
Yeah.
He's doing a bowling tournament in March, I think March 1st. And the Rexes are supposed to be there, so
Okay.
we're gonna go to that and try to bowl. If nothing else, we're gonna drink a lot of Southern Tier beer.
Gotcha.
So,
yeah, that's what I try to do when I go bowling too, because I'm terrible.
So my embroidery guy Earl, his wife moved here from Alabama, and she's allegedly like a first class bowler. So we got them on our team. So we got one good person of the 4. So hopefully,
one person to make the rest of you look good.
Yeah.
There you go.
Or make us look even worse. So how long have you been racing?
Oh, geez. I've kind of got into it in the year 2000-ish, and have done it, off and on.
Yeah.
I had some kids, and as my daughter grew up, I wanted to get her into go-kart racing.
Yeah.
And kind of get back into it myself. So
how old was she when she got into it?
She was 11 or 12.
Okay.
She didn't start as early as some of the kids do, but it also had to make financial sense.
Right.
When I got into it, there's a lot to racing. I don't have to tell you, but a truck, trailer, and then all the equipment to do it. So
yeah, and the time.
And then the time. The time is the biggest part of it. When we got into it, I think I was working 12-hour shifts at the brewery.
Yep.
6 to 6.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd get out of work at 6 in the morning and go home and pull the go-kart out of the garage and get it all ready and push it into the back of the truck and wake the kid up and go to the races and stay at the racetrack all day, and then get home from the races at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and try to catch a nap before I got to be back to work at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
So
where do you run? State Line?
Yeah, State Line's our local track, so kind of blessed that it's pretty close to us.
Yeah, they got new owners.
Yeah, the Catanias took it over, and they're talking about doing a lot of really good things there.
Yeah.
So
I just had a meeting with them last week, kicking around some ideas.
Yeah.
One of them that I'm trying to push for. So we're talking about doing like some sponsorship stuff and like how we can help them give it a facelift with signage and stuff. He's like, "What would you want to advertise? You want like a sign or a banner?" Or I'm like, "You know what I want? I want something weird that people are going to talk about. I want to make like a ridiculous hamburger, call it like the Carpys burger, like something just obnoxious that like people are gonna be like, did you try that hamburger?"
Right.
Or they're posting a picture of it on their Instagram, like
Right.
they do.
That's pretty creative.
Yeah, like I can put a sign on the track, that's cool, but it's gonna just blend in with all the other signs on the track.
Right.
But if I have a freaking like 3-pound hamburger or spicy one, I don't know, something.
Right.
That's gonna be. I mean, track food's usually pretty basic, but if you got that premium product there,
Right, those Kraken pulled pork nachos or something.
yeah, or just put like squid guts all over it or something. I don't know.
Whatever. Yeah.
So that's the direction I'm in. I like to do weird advertising.
I think that's a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
And I think tracks like creative stuff like that. And that's something that they can do that doesn't it's a good return on investment for you, and it doesn't really cost them a lot to accomplish it.
Yeah, just a couple jars of jalapenos or something.
Right.
They're already selling hamburgers.
Right.
So add another one on there. Charge more, whatever. But yeah, like if you think about it, like I just thought of it, Martinsville with their hot dogs, that's like a talking point every time NASCAR goes to Martinsville. They talk about the hot dogs more than they do the race.
Yep.
So
Eldora too.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We did like, so I try to do a different promo item each year. And one of the ones we did the Carpys energy drink. We found a company in Nevada that formulated us a Carpys energy drink. I wasn't trying to get in the energy drink business by any means, like it's a saturated market, but it's like, it looked cool. People walk in, they're like, "Oh, you have energy drinks?" Or like, you're trying to sell a big customer on something and you throw one in the package. It's just a cool talking point, something they're going to put on their desk, and it's always going to be in their brain subliminally. So yeah, like I try to do weird stuff like that. The thing with the energy drinks was it was so good. I was originally just giving them away with orders, and just like if someone came in and they seemed cool, I gave them one. But they're so good, people like wanted to buy them. And I'm like, I didn't even know how much they are. It's just a cool gimmick thing to make people talk about us. But like our UPS guy would come in every day and buy one. Like I'd put them on the website to buy. People were buying them by like the case.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, I didn't want to be in the energy drink business, but maybe we will be.
Well, I mean, maybe it's something we should be talking about.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be a good thing to have at the racetracks too, like an exclusive. Like you can only buy it at
that Carpys energy drink.
Yeah.
Maybe State Line could be putting those in the cooler. Man.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So you get a Carpys energy drink with a Carpys hamburger.
Yeah, the Carpys Happy Meal.
Yeah.
I like it. We'll have to have some more riff sessions.
We're gonna have to.
So, what is your biggest accomplishment in your personal racing?
My biggest accomplishment? I don't really have too many accomplishments. I don't have any big wins or
what's your biggest wreck
like that. But my biggest accomplishment in running with the UAS racing series has been gaining and garnering the respect of my competitors. Camaraderie and sportsmanship are right at the top, for UAS competition. So at a typical UAS race, you don't see karts wiping each other out
Right.
or wrecking for a win, or um, that's just not what we're about. And um, my goal when I got into it was to always get better and to gain the respect of my peers.
Yeah.
And I think I've over the years I've accomplished that.
Yeah.
Um, I've I've gained a lot of good friendships, like the Guybersons.
Yep.
But there are so many people in the UAS series like those people. Um, it's like a big family. So
Mm-hmm.
it's real special to be a part of.
Yeah. It's pretty much, I'm assuming, the same core guys pretty much that travel the series, and you pick up a couple of the locals that the tracks you're going to, but I'm assuming it's the main group is the same group that trying to travels across to all the different tracks.
So there's 27 different regions, I think. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just kind of spitballing here, but it's up over that. And over since 2008, we've had 756 unique uh, UAS members. So there's quite a big following across the country, and a lot more racers than people know about
Yeah.
that are into these things.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't like. I know we do a lot of big dirt oval flat cart stuff, um, but just I think I knew the wedge carts kind of. Is that the proper term for them? Wedge carts?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I knew they existed, but like, I never really like seen them really locally. But in the last 2 or 3 years, yeah, like Guyverson started. I think Guyversons were the first ones who came here for them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they've been kind of trending. Outmans, the gentleman with the underdog cart. I don't remember his name. I
Can't
just call it
remember
the
his name
underdog
either.
cart.
It's such a cool looking
He's
cart
a cool
too.
dude too. Yeah, he's like an older dude, but I guess he has like a practice track at his house.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I was asking him about it, and he's like, "Yeah, I run laps at my house, and I go to a couple races a year."
I'd love to. I don't think my neighbors would like it too much, but I would love it.
Yeah, he's retired. Yeah, he just seems like a cool dude that races go karts. I don't know, he's retired and just likes doing it.
Yeah.
But all right, man. Well, I think this was a good chat. It was informative. I think we got to plug your stuff pretty good. Um, if anyone is interested in going to the winter conference for the UAS and the benefit,
Mm-hmm.
you have a Facebook page you said for that. There's an event already I saw.
Yep. If you get on my personal Facebook page, Ernie Confer, um, there's I'm gonna pin it to the top
Yeah.
because Facebook has been moving stuff around and deleting stuff on me, thinking that it's spam. So
Oh, okay.
I'll go ahead and pin the event right to the top of my Facebook page, and if
Mm-hmm.
you click on the event, you can go in there, and there's a link to RSVP
Okay.
and some more information about what's going on.
Yeah.
The next week or two, I might post up a generic itinerary of what's going on. I don't want to give away too much of the meat and potatoes,
Right.
but just kind of give people an idea of what's going to go on.
Yeah. And American Muscle Cart. There's a YouTube page.
Yeah.
It's is that what it's under?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's at American Muscle Kart TV,
Okay.
all one word
Yep.
or whatever. We've also got a Facebook page. It's the very same thing, American Muscle Kart TV.
Mm-hmm. And I saw on there's some older videos on there. I'm assuming this year, since you've taken the reins, you're gonna have stuff from the 2025 season as it kicks off.
Yep, I've posted some things from last year and some things that are a little older. I've got a new phone, so I've lost a lot of my content from last year, but we're going to be traveling around and trying to get all kinds of new juicy content to post on there.
I like juice.
Yeah, who doesn't love the juice?
All right, so we'll wrap it up. Maybe we'll catch up again summertime and once things get moving.
Yeah, sure.
Get an update going. But for us, make sure you like and follow everything from the Carpys channels. I think it's just at Carpys on everything. YouTube, not TikTok anymore. Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah.
Till then, we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Thanks.
No problem.